Good evening, everyone. This is Exquisite Taste Knowledge Power Hour, where knowledge isn't power, applied knowledge is power. Tonight, we have our topic of choice, which we're going to be talking about real estate. And before we even get started, let me tell y'all to go ahead and like and share. You know, just go ahead and like and share. And sharing is caring. And once you share it and you like it, get some people to follow. We need you to do that for us, okay? Tonight, y'all, we have a special guest because we've been talking this month and the rest of this year about being financially free in 23. So, with that being said, we have a young lady that's coming on, and the topic is let's talk about rent to own homes and more with Vennise Johnson. Y'all, I met this lady. She's a godsend. We have been talking on and off. She's such a beautiful soul. I went and did a little background check on her, y'all. So with us as exquisite taste, we always like the deep. So we know a little bit background. So she is a mother, she's a fashion designer, and she is a senior realtor. And so she finds homes, she helps you, she does everything from the beginning to the end. Her experience is very diverse. She helps with the buying, the selling, and she also do rent to own properties. That's why she's going to discuss that part for y'all all to understand. She does anything from a farm home to elegant estates. I mean, she's vast, in her knowledge. So without further ado, y'all, Vennise.
Hello, hello. Thank you,
Hey.
Miss Sonia. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It is just phenomenal. I'm glad to be here. I love your model about being financially free in 23. I'm on board with you as well. And
Okay.
I'm here to share some tools that I have personally been a part of and participated in,
Mhm.
and as well as leave some nuggets that I think will be helpful for everybody that's here. Rent to own is a vehicle that has had a bad name, because it's been scams, it's been all kinds of horrible reputations attached to it. But
Mhm.
I'm here to tell you a great tool, a great stepping stone into home ownership. And I did it myself. I purchased my property back. I'm, a homeowner again as a single divorced woman, and proud of the experience, proud to share the journey with other people. And I love helping people take that first step
Mhm.
because I truly believe that real estate is the foundation of wealth.
Correct. So let's start from let them know a little bit about you.
So I'm from Chicago originally. I've been in Georgia. I'm a transplant, but I've been here for over 20 years. I have two beautiful daughters. I'm a new grandmother. So I've been around a little bit. I got a little bit of seasoning on me. I'm still fresh now, but I got a little bit of seasoning on me. And as life happens, you go through a lot of situations that you don't know how you got there and you don't know how you're going to get out. So I went from being a homeowner to becoming a tenant after, I don't know, 15 years. And it was a shocker. It was amazing and mind blowing to me how much landlords get away with. And it was having gone from that, being a homeowner and being a renter, that really propelled me to become a real estate agent. I didn't like the treatment. I didn't like the fact that there were no advocates for renters, that landlords were really able to do whatever they liked. And it was really not a lot of recourse for us. And the laws were so vague, they really didn't protect you. And you had to know how to use the laws in order to get the protection.
Mhm.
And it is in what I call the rat house, affectionately, that I studied and took my real estate course, got my license with the determination that I didn't want anyone else to have that experience where you're living in substandard conditions because you don't know how to buy a home, you don't know how to get your credit together, you don't trust people, you don't want to be scammed, and you don't come from a family where there are homeowners to help you. It could be generations and generations of renters if someone doesn't decide to change that footprint. And that's where my journey began. I couldn't take it. This landlord, it was terrible. I mean, it was rats in the attic, mice in the crawl space, and mold everywhere.
Mhm.
But I was in this predicament where my credit wasn't good at that time. My husband's credit wasn't good. We had a family. We were trying to figure it out, and I said, I can't do this. We have to get out of this rut and become homeowners again because this is substandard.
Mhm.
And he was a veteran, and we utilized that program to move into a home again that did not have all of those things. And I was an agent then, and agent through the pandemic where we were all shut down and nothing was really going on. But I came experiencing I'm still on fire to help people. And I started with myself because I wanted to buy a home. I had built my credit, had saved money, and the laws changed, and they told me no. And in a fit of rage and disappointment, I cried out. And honestly, I'm a God-fearing woman. God told me
Mhm.
to do a rent to own program, and it literally changed my life.
Y'all hear
And
that now? She said it changed her life, so I know she's gonna get into the pros and cons of that, so I'm gonna let her go on and do
yeah,
this.
no, it changed my life. It changed my mindset. It
Mhm.
changed just my drive. It changed everything about who I was, and it made me realize that I needed to help other people have this experience. I bought a home, didn't tell anybody, through the rent to own program. And I remember bringing my oldest daughter to see it, and she said, "Mom, I am so proud of you." And I literally broke down, crumpled in her arms, and cried because it was so hard.
Mhm.
But that experience, like that release,
Mhm.
that turned into energy and adrenaline to really get on fire. So I was with a brokerage. They didn't really understand rent to own program because this was a brand new company. It still is a new company. And that is literally all I was doing, was helping people by getting them into the rent to own program. So much so that I became the top agent in that company doing that. And they didn't understand it, and it was really kind of a cultural difference there as to why they didn't understand it. But I knew how valuable it was for our culture, for our people, and for me. And
Mhm.
went through that whole experience, end up changing brokerages and getting with the company that does the rent to own program. And last year alone, I helped over 25 families get into this program so their lives could be changed. And
Congratulations.
yeah, glory to God, because I mean, it was hard work, because that's a lot of people to manage. That's like 27 deals, so at one, I don't even know how I did it, honestly. It was just crazy. But I'm here because I want other people to take the opportunity and take the chance to do it. The average rent in Atlanta is over $1,800 a month,
Mhm.
right? That's the average
Right.
rent. The average mortgage in Atlanta is only $1,100. So I don't know how many people knew that, but that's the average rent. And that doesn't mean that you live in a mansion. That means you're just doing baseline renting. You're not doing anything in, bindings. You live in wherever, and you're hoping that someday you're going to be able to get out of that situation to buy a home, right? But people who
Right.
have mortgages, they're not paying those kind of mortgages unless they have really nice homes or large homes, or they have to be somewhere specific. So
Mhm.
that's the one thing I need people to think about, is that when the rent you're paying because you want to have a particular lifestyle, or because you're afraid to make the decision, or you don't know how it's going to work out, or you don't trust anyone, you got to take baby steps. You have to take that first baby step to ask the questions. What do I need to do? How do I need to do it? How long is it going to take me? And then what do I do from there? right? And I
Right.
had to do the same thing. Like I didn't know anything about rent to own. The person I couldn't help myself. Another agent helped me, and I went through, what do I need to do? How do I need to do it? How long is it going to take? And it was magnificent when it was all done. It was just magnificent because now I live in this home. I have a big backyard. I just finished renovating and making the kitchen like I wanted. I hated my kitchen, but you know what? I looked at the house as I can work with this and it can become an investment property for me later. And so I think one of the areas we get caught up in is that we want our dream home immediately and we don't want to take that baby step and sacrifice getting something that is more comfortable than where you are in an apartment, and putting your touches to it, living in it for 7 or 8 years, and turn it into an investment property and buy your next property.
Hmm.
Because the reality is, you're not your dream home. It might be 5, 6 homes down. When I was married, we built a house custom from the ground. And am I in that home? No. That should have been the dream home. Guess what? It's not, because we're not there. So, that's right. That's one of the obstacles. Is like, that's not the dream home. It was, we customized it, picked out the flooring and the cabinets and the doors and the windows and the molding. Don't even live there. Right.
Right.
And so that's one of the obstacles that I, try to get people to realize, because the most important thing about home ownership is your mindset,
Hmm.
making up your mind that you're going to do something different. And then the second piece of that is allowing yourself to take the baby step of, okay, it doesn't have to be my dream home, but can I be comfortable? Can I live in it in 6 or 7 years and then purchase it and rent it out and create a legacy for my family? Do I have to have it all today, or
No,
can I baby step it?
baby steps is the key.
So
So let me
baby steps
do this
key.
right quick. Y'all see that cute code up there? That is Amari Simmons. I had the pleasure to meet this beautiful soul this following weekend, y'all. I need y'all to click on that Q code and I need you to go here. She sells body butters and she sells body creams. I bought the rose, and I'm not a fan of the rose scent, but hers was different, and it also because of my body chemistry, it smells different on me. So when I tell people it's rose, they look at me kind of weird as if I don't know what I'm talking about. But I bought her body butter, and I also bought her scrub. And me, I like to do a little review. So with the scrub and the body butter, it's a perfect blend. I love the way these scrubs work. I really, really do. So I think I found another fave for me. I'm gonna try another one, but these were the small ones because I wanted to make sure. But it's good. It's good. I keep this in my purse along with my other body butter that I always use, my wreath. But this is it's a classic. I mean, this is for the bougie girls, just like my wreath. So y'all click on that Q code, go out to her Instagram, DM her, and get you the scrub and the body butter. She has a list of different other fragrances. So I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's worth it. The pricing point is good. The cream is good. It moisturizes. You stay moisturized. So get it. Get it while you can. Venice.
Awesome.
Um, with
Yes.
that being said, what how about the credits? Do you when people's credits, how do you help them if they have a 610 credit score, or something low? Do you still go into the rent to own program with that, or do you work with them a little bit to get them where they need to be?
I do both, because with the rent to own program, you can actually qualify with the 550 credit score. and that gets you in the door, right?
Mhm.
And that doesn't get you a huge approval, or the best approval, but it definitely gets you approval if all of the other things line up, like your debt to income ratio, meaning how much money you expend out versus what you make.
Mhm.
And this is the money that's reported, on the credit bureaus, right? So car notes are a big thing. But it definitely will get you an approval at 550. If you're at 600, you're in the creme de la creme of approvals with 600 and above with the rent to own program. And you have all kinds of options, including low down payment options when you're in that bracket. So you can do something where you only put 1% down of whatever the purchase price is. All the other programs are 2% down. But you can do something where flexible savings is involved. If you qualify well, or you're well qualified, you can choose when you want to save instead of having the savings built in every month. When I did the program, these options were not available, and my savings was mandatory. I believe in that part of it because it allowed me to have money set aside that I use for my down payment, as well as part of my closing costs when I bought my home back. And it just it really was a way to get yourself accustomed to just saving even outside of the program. So even outside of the program, it forced me to become a saver just from having to save all that time. And the difference between what I paid when I rent to own, what I pay in mortgage is substantial, So I believe that the program is a great stepping stone because it'll take a lower credit score and you can build from there. You have up to 3 years to purchase the home back. So you have time to build your credit and to build your savings and to go forth there. If you are not there, I am more than happy to help and offer suggestions and tips so that you can build your score. Because ideally, even if you're at 550, I'm going to encourage you to get a higher score because I want you to have more options
Mhm.
so that you can have a better experience. Because we like options. We like to be able to pick and choose a little more. So the more options you have, the better experience you have, right? That's how I
Exactly.
was. I didn't have as many options, but I figured it out and I changed my mindset so I could be a homeowner today. And I don't know how I would have done it otherwise.
Okay. So, do you have a team that works with you when it comes to helping with other options? Let's say we're not doing the rent to own. Maybe we're a little bit better. So, do you have other options? Tell us a little bit about what else you do outside of rent to homes.
So outside of rent a home, I can connect you with a lender that can get you approved and into a home. And I use preferred individuals. I don't like to just send you to anyone. I give you 2 or 3 people, and I tell everybody, pick your lender like you pick your boyfriend. Pick the one that's got the most benefits and the most features,
Right.
right? The one that responds to you and answers your text message and your calls,
Mhm.
right? Because if the guy doesn't answer the text message and the call, that means he's not paying attention. So you want to pick your lender like you pick your boyfriends, right?
Exactly.
And so I help people with that. I help people if they want to sell their home as well.
Mhm.
And so I have a mover that I work with, a preferred mover. I have a preferred lender that I work with. I have preferred inspectors that I work with. I try to have a network of individuals that I can feel really good about recommending because I don't want to leave you out there, and you don't know what you're doing already. It's already scary. And then you have to go into another area that you're not even familiar with. So I'm going to be hand holding all the way through till you sign your papers and get your keys.
Okay. That's a good deal. Some people, you know, they want to know that information. And I also had a question someone was asking, do you deal with investors or people who's looking for rental properties? Do you help them with that?
So rental properties, if you're a person wanting to rent a property,
No, they want to not
I
rent the property. What I'm sorry, they want to buy rental property. Let me.
oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, definitely. So if you want to be an investor and you're looking for properties that are available, I can help assist with that. And I am the queen of finding for sale by owner. Like I can find properties that are off
Mhm.
market that you might be interested in purchasing. I have put people that were doing rent to own in properties that are for sale by the owner. And so I don't have a problem calling. I can do cold calling. I can call your grandma and say, hey, and make her feel like she's talking to her granddaughter. I don't know strangers.
Okay.
Right. My sister doesn't like that. She's like, you just talk to anybody. But I do. I talk to any and everybody. And I like helping people meet their goals, because part of being financially free is being able to do the things that you want to
Mhm.
do when you want to do them.
Right.
Right. So you can do what you want to do, but if it's not when you want to do it, it doesn't feel the same way as being able to do it when you want to do it.
Hmm. Okay. Well, that's good to know. So y'all hear it. She helps. She helps. Whatever um you're looking for, she's able to do it. Alois is asking a question. She said, "Do you work all over?"
I am licensed in the state of Georgia currently. So I work the state of Georgia, as much as possible. I actually just closed the deal on Warner Robins. Yes, I drove 2 hours to Warner Robins, to close the deal. When it took them the gift and the whole nine and drove back. Been to Macon a few times. So I work for the state of Georgia. I'm licensed in the state of Georgia. I'm looking forward to getting my licensing in Alabama and Florida as well. But currently, I operate in the state of Georgia.
Okay, so you're gonna do Florida and Alabama.
Yes.
No.
Alabama, a lot of people like to move to and from Alabama, from Georgia, from Atlanta. Like people in Atlanta who decided Atlanta is too crowded and they were full, like to go to Alabama. It's not that far. And people in Alabama think it's a big life in Atlanta and they want to come to Atlanta. So I want to be a part of that experience. And then Florida is just one of those same situations. A lot of people leave Atlanta to go to Florida for the better
Mhm.
weather or to just, have a more relaxed lifestyle. So I'm looking forward to adding that to my roster of
Mhm.
achievements.
Okay, that's a good thing. So y'all hear her. She's all over Georgia. Anywhere she goes, from the top to the bottom, to the left to the right of Georgia. So she
Yeah,
got you covered. Anywhere you want to go, she got you covered. Do you have any other realtors that's outside of your areas? Like, let's say you give recommendation if someone wanted to move to Tennessee or to Seattle, Washington.
I have some connections like that. I'm an accredited buyer's representative, and within that, I can connect individuals to states where my company isn't operating. My company operates in other states like Florida and Alabama, and I can't think of all of them right off the top of my head, but I can make referrals. Arizona, Texas. I can make referrals within my company for those particular states. For states where my company is not operating, I would use a network and just connect the person that way. Or if someone's relocating here, I can assist somebody relocating to Georgia from a different state. I have clients like that right now, and we just, do Google Meet meetings, and they tell me what they're looking for, and I give them a guide. I send them master plans about the areas they're interested in. So when they come here, they're not blind about where they'd like to live in at Metro Atlanta area.
Okay. So let me ask you this: how do you handle people who wants a home but don't know what they want, and they just as confused as when they started this? Now you know.
That's a great question. And I get people like that. And so I have what I call a little process. So if you come through my pipeline, I'm going to reach out to you and ask questions, right? When do you want to move? Where do you want to move? Why do you want to live there? Where do you work? Do you like dogs? Do you like birds? Do you like cats? I'm going to ask a lot of questions, right? And then I'm going to charge you with sending me homes that you're interested in. And I beg you to flood me with all the homes you're interested in,
Mhm.
right? And from that, I can determine if you have champagne taste in the beer budget, or if you, oh, right? Or if you like a particular style. Like I had one client who was sending me houses, and I said, "Do you realize that you like red doors?" And she didn't notice that. Every house she sent me had a red door. So I said, okay, instead of looking at houses with red door, let's look at the house that you like, and I'll paint the door red for you. How about that? So you can just get away from the red doors. You just don't even realize what you like until you look at it. So I have always been in sales, right? That's my background. Fashion is sales. I got here because I opened the first Nordstrom in the Atlanta area. So that's always been my background. So I decipher information all the time. So I'm going to try to decipher as much information as I can from you so that when we go out looking, I'll show you 10 houses, but I'm going to make you rank them, right? And so when we get to the point where, we're looking at houses, because you've already flooded me with 900 homes, I'm only going to take you to see the top 10 of the 900 that fit all the criteria, including the budget. And then from there, I'm going to have you rank them. And that's been very successful for me because that tells them, oh, I really do like this feature better or not. And that shows me whether I've been doing well listening and getting them to where they can find a home that's a 9 or a 10 or even an 8. And I call that successful. Because it's hard, you don't know. You might need to see 20 houses before you really understand what you want. And I'm your girl. As long as you do your part, I do my part. And we're going to make it make sense now. We're going to make it make sense. You're not going to drive, from east to west because you don't really know it down so that we get close to where you either work or your family. So your quality of life is not affected because you saw a house 5 hours away from everyone. But then you get there and realize you hate it because you can't see anybody. Nobody's willing to drive that far to visit you. You got to drive 4 hours to get to a store. All of those things come into play, especially in Atlanta where traffic is traffic.
It is. It is very much.
Right. It's a real deal traffic here.
Yes, it is. I think location is everything. If you know your location, then everything else can be easy.
Correct.
A lot of people, they know they want a home, they know what type of home they want, but the location is very confusing for them.
Mm-hmm.
And while we're talking about confusion, that reminds me of food. Y'all see that Q code up there? That's Liz Galore Brands. The lady with the vibe, she has her own type of energy. She's the chemist when it comes to food. Y'all see that? Do you see that? Those are her marinades. So, understand she is good at this. You see the different things that her marinades go on. It's phenomenal. Like I told y'all, she has this premium marinade called Heaven. Last week I put it in my cream spinach and it took it to a whole nother level. She's good at this. All her stuff, it's almost as good as, remember the Red Hot commercial where you say they put that on everything? You basically do the same thing with this. You basically do the same thing with this. You can basically put it on everything. I see she got some with some eggs. I'm gonna have to try that and get some of her, her marinades. Like I said, she has this jerk that she called the Helen. She has a citrus mania that's spicy and it's a mild because in Texas they like it hot. And so, like I said, go click that Q code, go to her Instagram page. She also has a Facebook page. And go on there. I promise you, you will not regret it. She does meals. She has this special that's going on where you get the Texas loaded potato. She's introducing it to everyone here in Atlanta. So you have it for April is the last month for it. So y'all better call. Y'all better get it. Like I said, her marinades is everything. She's a chemist with this. So you need to go after it.
I'm going to call.
Q code up there. Y'all need
to
go.
Yes, I'm like, that looks delicious.
Yeah, and her wings are the bomb. And she makes egg rolls. Her egg rolls are phenomenal. I don't know how she does it, but I guess she loves rolling them. But
yeah, that's awesome.
She does meal preps as well. So y'all, I'm telling you, need to contact her. Dry good. I don't know what that means, Alois. I don't know what that means. Vennise. Oh, she's saying very good. Oh, okay. Yes. I messed that up. She's very good. Vennise.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for a person like me. I'm very detailed with what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I can be very anal about it, but
Okay.
I'm very laid back and I'm easy too. So, what advice you have for someone like me who is getting ready to venture in, maybe next year or the year after next, after she get that financially free, getting it together?
Yeah.
Uh, when it comes to knowing in her head what she wants, because see, I live in my own reality in my head, and
We all do.
I'm trying to make it the reality out here. And it's been working pretty good with some of the things I do. But when it comes to a home, I mean, when I tell you I'm very particular, I go in there like I'm the housing inspector. So tell me, what advice do you have for someone like me who's detailed in things like that?
Well, I think that it's not a bad thing to be detailed oriented and to pay attention to those things in the home that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm,
But I also want you, there's a couple things. One, trust the fact that you're going to have the house inspected. And
mm-hmm,
that professional is going to point out the critical components, whether they are in dire straits or their future, issues. They're going to trust them to let them do that job, right? So you can take some of that stress off of you in that area.
mm-hmm,
And the second thing I want to say is when you purchase a home, get a home warranty. Whether your the seller pays for it, whether your agent pays for it, whatever you do, get a home warranty, so that you are able to offset some of those costs if some of those critical components, happen to expire or have an issue. Okay, so those are the first two things: is trust the inspector. The second thing is to get a home warranty. A lot of people skip that, but
mm-hmm,
that's I've always had a home warranty. Even when I had a rental property years ago, I had a home warranty on that rental property. So when the tenant had something go wrong, I called the home warranty people to come out and fix whatever was going on, because essentially I'm protecting my investment, and that's what a home warranty will do: is help you protect it beyond what a homeowner's policy does. So those are the first two things: trust the inspector, get a home warranty. The third thing is when you are going into this, you know how particular you are. So you're going to go in there and say, I want it to be like this. I want it to be like that. I want this. I want that. Don't let everything be a deal breaker. Go in expecting to customize it to your liking, because you didn't
okay,
build the house. Somebody else built the house with their ideas. You go in there, okay, can I live with it and turn it into what I need? Will it meet my needs? First question. Second question, will it be a good investment property? Because it's 9 times out of 10, that's not going to be your first property.
mm-hmm,
It might be your, you're gonna just want to do something else at some point, whether it's because you age, because your family grows, because your family, you know, downsizes. There's a reason or another that you're going to move from the property, right? It just is what it is, right?
mm-hmm,
So go ahead, go into the mindset right off the bat. Can I make this a great investment? Can I rent it out down the line? Can I Airbnb it? Can I turn it into a manufacturing home? Like, what can I do down the line once I'm on to the next, right?
mm-hmm.
Then go in there, watch your HGTV, take pictures of what you want, and look and see if those things will work in the space that you're looking at, in the home that you're looking at, right?
That's my
So
favorite
that,
chapter.
yeah, absolutely. And trust your gut.
Mm-hmm,
If you go in there and you're like, yeah, this is a 9. Yeah, this is a 9. Don't leave saying I'm gonna find a 10. Take the 9,
the
because
9 is 10.
the 9 is the 10. I
Mm-hmm,
cannot tell you how many people they're still looking because they passed up the 9, and now they're only finding 5, 6s, and 7s, and they're still renting. And so all of that money that they could be paying into putting in what would have made that home a 10, they're just paying rent, wishing they were somewhere else.
mm-hmm,
So that's my suggestion for someone who's particular like you. I am particular as well. I mean, I came in as a real estate agent and I had lived in a house that I built from the ground. So I had to come in and go, okay, can I live with this? They don't have granite. The kitchen is smaller. It don't have this. Well, you know what? I put granite in. I
mm-hmm.
put the faucet. I put vessel sinks in. I put new light fixtures in. I put in the ceiling fans that I wanted. I changed it out and said, you know what, it was worth it to me. I feel good about it, and I feel good in the space that I'm in because it provided what I needed. And down the line, it's going to be an investment property, right? I'm going to either rent it out. I'm already looking at renting out my backyard because my house sits on almost half an acre.
You're gonna
So
rent out your backyard.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
so I'm being curious now. Do tell the deets on that. What made what you do? What you mean rent it out for
So there's
parties?
yeah, for events, for small events, because there's a need for small events. If you don't want to be in a public park, and parks aren't as safe as they used to be, you don't have the opportunity to rent a space, and you need something to have a quick barbecue with 30, 40 people, and you just want to chill out. You can rent my backyard. I got, a couple of hammocks back there. I got a fire pit. I got a burn barrel back there. Got a swing back there. I got tables to put out. And so if I only rent it a few times a year, it's still an opportunity to get a return on my investment. So that's the other
Interesting.
part. Yeah, that's the other part of it. When you become a homeowner, there are creative ways for you to make that space work for you, even if you're still living in it. And it's legal. It's not like I'm doing anything illegal. I live in the house. I'm gonna, be here to monitor the events, and I decide whether or not I want to rent it, and I decide the rate. And so I did a paint and picnic kind of thing, or yard event where we painted out back, and
Mm-hmm.
sandwiches and wraps and you know beverages, and had a great time. And nobody was in the house. It was all out back, and it was plenty of space. Some people played cornhole, some people played checkers because there's a game space back there. There's so many things you can do when you become a homeowner that can make you residual income. But if you don't take that first step, it's not even available to you.
Y'all heard that. If you have enough backyard, hint, hint, Patronella, you can rent it out and do just what she's doing. That is phenomenal information. I would have never thought that. And I'd be thinking about everything. That is simply amazing.
Yeah.
Venice, y'all see that Q code up there? This is Vennise Johnson's Q code. Have at it, Venice.
Listen, I'm trying to help more people than I helped last year, right? I want to help people move into that space. And even though the market has changed, people are like, oh, the rates are high. It's not that the rates are so high. It's just that we went through a historical period where the rates were very low.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the rates are just kind of where they are. It's still better than paying someone else's rent, correct? Because
Correct.
I met a woman who had been renting a house for 15 years. I asked her for her address. I looked up her address and I said, do you know you have paid for that house twice? She was
Mm-hmm.
silent. She couldn't say anything. She was silent. What can you say to that? And she didn't know what to do. She was in a position where she needed to move because her mother had gotten ill and she needed her mother to move with her. She didn't have the space. And she really couldn't make the decision to move her into the home because she wasn't the owner. She was a tenant. When you have your own home, you can move whoever you want in. You could rent out the bedrooms and live in one bedroom. People do that as well. You can
Yeah.
rent out your back space. You could rent out your parking spaces. People do that. There are people who want to park additional cars and don't have space. If you live somewhere and you have a long driveway, you could make money allowing people to park their cars in your parking space, but not if you're the tenant. It's if you're the homeowner. So I'm trying to help as many people make that transition from being a renter into homeownership through the rent-to-own portal, because it's a baby step, right? You take that first baby step, you kind of get settled into that. I'll tell you, it's going to hurt a little bit because it's a little bit higher, but it's going to force you to get into the mindset of becoming a homeowner. And you look at that first property that is an 8 or a 9, you turn it into a 10, and then it becomes your investment property. Whether even if you're just renting your backyard, or you're renting your parking spaces, or you're renting your bedrooms, or you completely move out, get another property, and you rent the entire unit. There's so many ways to make it work for you, right? If I wanted to rent my bottom level out, I could rent my bottom level out and collect enough money from my bottom level to pay my mortgage,
Hmm. That's a great
right?
deal.
Because I live in a split level. So, but you can't do any of this if you don't have the place to start with, right? So until you get started, like, okay, Sonia,
Yeah.
when I sell you your house, I'm going to use you as an example. When I sell you your house, I am going to ensure that you have a space to be able to have your studio. We talked about this already.
Yeah.
Have your studio.
Mm-hmm.
What's to stop you from allowing other people to rent your studio space when you're not using it?
Hello. Talk to me. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
that thought.
Now, yeah, so now you get residual income and a tax write-off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other piece of it. If you're not a homeowner, you don't get those tax write-offs as a homeowner. On the mortgage interest that you're paying, you get to write that off in your taxes. So you're paying less taxes. And who wants to pay more taxes? I don't. I'm trying to figure out how to not pay taxes legally.
That part.
So it's just advantages people don't think about. They look at, I don't want to pay that, or that, or I get this one. It's not worth it. Well, why is renting worth it? Tell me what you're getting out of that. Yes, you have a place to lay your head, but you can't paint the walls. You can't hang the picture on the wall. You can't rent out the bedroom. You can't Airbnb it. You can't rent out the parking space because you're fighting for the parking space yourself. And especially if you're in an apartment, you're fighting for a parking space.
All the time.
So you get no residual income. Yes, no residual income. You can't put in granite countertops or change out the light fixtures. If you have a dog, you got to pay a fee for your dog.
Basically,
I mean,
the rent.
I could go on and on and on. I could technically say, hey, you guys want an enclosed space to come walk your dog? I could rent out my backyard for dog walkers and turn your dog loose in my backyard for a fee and pay somebody else to come clean up the backyard and keep it moving. But if you don't have a house, these ideals aren't available to you. These residual ways to have residual income aren't available because your landlord is not going to allow it.
That is true. I get exactly what you're saying because being in an apartment, you're very limited, and
Mm.
and a lot of people stay in apartments until the day they pass away, which it does not for me. It's just not. It's just it doesn't work for me. That-
Yeah, I see Kim said you can't mount a TV to the wall. You cannot mount your TV to the wall. They are going to take all of your security deposit. And to your point, Sonia, you are not leaving a legacy for your family.
no, you're
You can't leave your family destitute because you're not leaving them anything except a funeral expense,
not.
right? And with your home, you can leave that to them and set them up. That's how a lot of homes stay in families for years and years and years and years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just gets passed down, but we don't even know how to do that because we haven't gotten to the first step.
That's true. That is so true.
So absolutely. That's my goal, is to exceed how many people I helped last year by helping that many more this year. And the first step is just reaching out and calling me and making the decision that I just want to take the first step. I just want the information. I just want to change my mind to do something different. Even here's another scenario. I don't know if I'm going to stay in Georgia. So this one client I'm talking to, she's going back and forth about whether she wants to stay in Georgia or not. But Sonia, she's still paying rent.
Right.
So I said, I don't want to call her name, but Jay, even if you don't want to stay in Georgia, at least get your first investment property in Georgia. While you're here, even if it's only 6 months or whatever, you get to leave somewhere. You have rental property now, you have an investment property, and wherever you go, you got your first piece of property, and you can use that to leverage property somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Either she rented or she Airbnb it, and then if she ever come in to visit, take it off the Airbnb market, and you live in it until you're ready to go.
And
You're
you
gonna
live,
go.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I can see that. That's a brilliant
yes,
idea. You might as well.
absolutely.
Can't
Yeah, absolutely. I have I don't know if you are familiar, there's a young lady, her name is Precious. She lives in Atlanta. She's a young woman. She's not even 30. She bought her first property
Mm-hmm.
in Atlanta. Then she built a tiny house in her backyard. She rents out the house in the front and lives in a tiny house.
Really?
That's my next thing, by the way. My next thing is to add an ADU or a tiny house in my backyard on the other side. And I'll still be able to rent the rest of my yard, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my next endeavor.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. So everybody, you think about it. Think about it. I mean, she's giving you the deeds. Alois said, "Can you find a home without HAS?" I don't know what
She's some
means.
homeowner association
Oh,
fees. She's talking about HOAs. Yes, you can. I live in a community without an HOA. I did not want to live in a community with an HOA because I'm not a fan of them. They have a lot of power. They can actually foreclose on your home. Most people don't realize that they can make your life very difficult if you don't keep up with the fees. They mandate, how you paint your home, when you cut your yard, how many flowers you put out, if you put flowers out, whether you can have a dog, a lot. I've lived in those communities before. I don't like it. And I live in a community without an HOA on purpose. They're a little bit harder to find, but they are available. They're older homes, and you probably have to put a little bit of work in there, but you're going to customize it anyway. So I would definitely be looking for one without an HOA.
y'all see that Q
Good.
code up there? You know, this is my favorite. They have been endorsed by Exquisite Taste. That's KTB Enterprise. We call them the Black Macy's. That's Macy's for y'all. Y'all don't sleep on these people. Look what I got for you today. Voila, this is their website. I just wanted to prove to you that I knew what I was talking about. Their prices are way lower. Well, not way lower, but they are very competitive in their prices. Do you see that? The Miami Glow for 40. This is the women's stuff. You got the Amber Oud, Issey Miyake. That's an old classic for me. They have
Mm-hmm.
different. I mean, they have it, y'all. You need to check them out. If you don't, shame on you. The Man Cave, they have it. They have all the fragrances. They have the Baccarat 540. They have, I was over here being nosy and forgot I was being nosy. They're sold out of the Dior Sauvage. They're sold out of the one of the YSLs. Y'all, you missing out. Their colognes, they are the concierge of colognes and perfume. Kermit will fit you up right. You need to hit that Q code. I'm trying to tell you, it won't last. He sells out on a lot of things. He has customers galore. They come in, he can customize you. Who wants something that everybody else is getting? I don't. Let them
Right.
customize you to have your own unique signature fragrance. I'm the type of person, I always like being unique. I don't want what everybody else is getting. I want something that you don't have but smell good, and you looking at me weird. Like, a lot of people ask me what I have on sometimes because I have an old classic that I love, Perry Ellis 360. I promise you,
Yeah.
smell like what it smell on other people. It smell totally different. They be telling me you're lying. You don't have that on, but I do. You know, I'm telling you, he can get you where you need to be in your colognes and in your perfumes. You see that Q code? I promise you, it's worth it. And she still has MAC. He still have MAC lipsticks available. 2 for $25. It's going fast. It's almost, the sale is almost over. And until they tell me otherwise, I'm gonna tell you, you need to get in there. I bought the last Bobby Brown, so I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. But go ahead,
I
check them.
know. I like Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty color. It reminds you of putting on your lip liner with your gloss. Remember how we used to
Yes.
do that? I still
Mm-hmm.
do that too, but I do that with that and put my lip liner, and it pops. It pops. It is so gorgeous. So y'all, you better get with my peoples. They, like I said, they're endorsed by me, and they're out here. Macy's, the new Macy's. That's our Black Macy's.
All right.
Click the Q code. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. They'll fit you up. And I mean, that was just a few. They have way more than that. He is on it. He can tell you how to layer. He can tell you how to do anything. So you better check them out. Back
Awesome.
to you, Venice. What if people wanted commercial? Do you dabble in that?
So I don't know a lot about commercial from a professional perspective. I know a lot about commercial personally because I've rented tons of spaces when for all the businesses. Well, when I run my fashion school, I rented spaces, so I can share some insight into how to acquire space, and I can share insight into what those CAM fees are and kind of how to negotiate it. And I can help find some spaces, but that's not my expertise.
Okay. And Kim, I'm so sorry I bypassed what you said, but I saw it. People are not homeowners because of lack of knowledge. Let's go in 23. That's what I'm talking about, girl. We need to. What do you have to say about that? About how people lack that knowledge and how they can get it. Do you offer courses? Do you offer any type of class? Is there any other ways that do you do one-on-ones? What do you do, Venice, in order to help a group of people?
I haven't done them recently. I was, didn't have an opportunity to set them up, but I do home buying seminars
Mhm.
where I answer all the questions. I tell people, exactly what the requirements are. I do one-on-ones more recently in the era of Zoom and, Google Meet, to fit people's schedules. People don't really want to travel if they don't have to. So I'm always open to having people jump on the Google Meet or a Zoom link and have a conversation so that we can talk about what they need, what their questions are, what their next steps are. Open to that, absolutely, because lack of knowledge is an issue. And I want to make sure that people know more than what I know going in. Because when I went in, I didn't know, I knew very little. And it was difficult. That was part of the difficult thing, is not knowing, exactly how the process was going to work, not knowing that it was going to be as difficult as it was because nobody could share that with me. And so I like to tell people as much information as possible, answer as many questions as they have, and make them feel comfortable and confident in making a decision to move forward.
I like that. That helps out. And maybe y'all we can get her to come back on and give us some more deets or to we might have one where she can give you more details so you can get started in your process of getting a preparation and so you can
Yes,
be able to get where you need to go. I think
absolutely.
go ahead.
I said absolutely.
Yeah, I think
So,
yeah. So y'all, I mean, look up there. I got her Q code up there. So if you haven't gotten her information, I suggest you get it now, because she's here and she's ready and available. Do you
absolutely,
have
yes.
any final? We've got 4 more minutes. Do you have anything else you want to give or to empower people with?
Yeah, I want to share this little bit of knowledge that I learned at church on Sunday. We had this millionaire come, and he gave a statistic that was mind blowing. Black home ownership in 1968 was 41.1%. In 1968,
Mhm.
50 years ago. Today, do you know what that rate is?
Probably
45.3%.
20.
So in 50 years, we've only grown 4% in home ownership.
That's sad.
We have got, yeah, we got to change that. We got to change that. And it starts with, getting the knowledge, but also not being afraid to make a decision and changing your mindset, right?
Mhm.
If you can change your mindset, like decide, no matter what, this year I'm buying a house. First thing, you've said it, you've commanded it.
Mhm.
And now everything else is going to line up to make sure that that happens, right? So now when you get ready to go out to eat, you was like, I'm not going to get lamb chops today. I'm going to get chicken fingers because I'm buying a house. Like everything starts to line up. Yeah, I'm not going shopping today. I'm going to wear something in my closet because I want to buy a house. You just start to do things that aligned with your goal. So th- part of being financially free in 23 is aligning your goals and your mindset with, I'm going to change in 2023.
Kim said, it doesn't hurt to see where you are in the process. No, it doesn't. Doesn't.
Absolutely.
Because you got to start
Yeah.
somewhere. If you start with
Yeah.
a low credit score, let's build it, because the better you build, the better your interest rate. And hopefully,
Yeah.
and in my head, I think my price should get better. So,
Yeah. 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 That's the reality. Bad credit costs more. That's real. That's not a fictional thing. That's real. Bad credit costs you more. So, to see where you are, it's free.
mhm.
It's no charge to say I want to have a conversation. It's free. If you never ever talk to me again, but you go buy a house with somebody else after I say, hey, do this, this, and this, and this, we still win.
Yeah. Vennise,
But
you know you need to
hopefully,
put that on a t-shirt, right? I'm for real. I already came up with your spiel. It says, bad credit costs you more. Call Vennise, she'll tell you more. We need that on a t-shirt, man.
I'm gonna put that down. Have my daughter make me a T-shirt for sure.
Exactly.
But it's the truth. It's the truth. And listen, I've had bad credit before, more than one time. I've had a bankruptcy before. I've had a foreclosure before. And if I can buy a house, I can too. Did it take me time? Yes. You can do it as well. You just got to work through those obstacles and know that it's going to take time, but you can do it. You can flip that script 3 or 4 times. And then we have to learn how to flip the script. Right. So I came out of that. I got divorced and I still bought a house. If you've been divorced and you think, oh, you can still do it. It's a way to do it. There's now down payment is back. Down payment assistance is back. So if you got a little bit of money, but not as much, that's an option as well. And so it's just knowing what's available to you. And you won't know if you don't know, like Kim said, where you are in the process.
Right. So y'all, Vennise is here. I'm telling you again while I have it up. There's her Q code. Scan it so you can talk to her. It doesn't cost anything to talk to someone to help you. And it doesn't hurt to hear what someone has to say. Sometimes we tend to let our arrogance get in the way and we procrastinate when we should initiate. We shouldn't procrastinate on anything when it comes to what we want, because we are $1 trillion money maker.
Yes.
Our Black people are $1 trillion money maker. If we're going to make them money, we need to make our own money. And I keep telling y'all that. I'm a big, Kim said, as African Americans, we have to be a better example. That's for sure. If we can do entertainment, if we can do everything else, we are creators of everything. Everybody should be owning something. And our Lord says she is going to call you. All right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it.
So you can get a phone number.
Free to call. It's free to call. It's free to get information. Free information. You can't beat that. It's free 99.
It sure is. And I mean, and y'all, I'm just telling y'all this. I'm very, very passionate about this. It came to me one day. Remember, we did our vision boards. We got our upcoming at the end of the month that we're going to talk about the intention. We're going to talk about the workbook, those who have the workbook. And if you don't have the workbook, DM me or call me if you have my number and I can send you the packet through the email. So you'll have it and you can start putting those intentions out there. You have to make the plan intentional, and you have to make it simple for you in order for you to progress out there on how you want to be. If you don't write it down, you're not going to get anywhere. So you got to, because there are solutions. We're not talking about complaining. If you complain, and you never have a solution, you're going to still be in that same box you put yourself in. So we have to come up with those solutions. Like I said, we as Black people, we are $1 trillion business. They make trillions out of us. Our dollars only last less than 20 seconds in our own communities. Come on now. The math ain't math, and something is wrong. We got to do better. We have to do better. And for those of us who don't, move out the way and stop cock blocking those who do. Don't That, and that just came to me because if you have a rent to home, to rent to own a home as an option, because you can't go the traditional way, why not do it?
Right.
What do you have to lose? Yes, it
Right.
might cost a little bit more money. I don't know. I've never done it before. But why not take a chance? Jump off that cliff and do
Yeah.
what you got to do for you. You do it every day anyway for everything else you want or you don't want. So why not? Why not choose you? It's time to start being a little bit selfish. Choose
Yeah.
you and get where you want to be. Everybody has dreams. Let's make it a reality. Let's stop complaining and say, "Well, I can't." Yes, you can. If you take "can't" out your vocabulary, take "try" out your vocabulary, and just say, "I'm finna do it," and do it. What's the harm in it?
Right.
Everybody's blind to something, but if you got someone like Vennise who's here, who wants to help you and get you where you want to be, why not give her a call? I'm just saying. Don't let me continue to preach. I'll go to the book of Sonia, chapter 12, about getting starting your own real estate of investments. Y'all don't want to hear that tonight because I'm tired. Okay? So don't take me there. Please don't take me there. So y'all, please give her a call. It doesn't hurt. Even if you're in another state, give her a call. She can
Yeah.
help you. Even if she can't help you buy a home, but you're looking for ways of, she can give you a little advice on how to get where you need to get to where you got to go. You got to start somewhere. Might as well start with Vennise. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Vennise, anything else you want to say before we go?
Thank you so much. This was an awesome experience. I hope that people call, and and so they can be financially free in 2023. I'm on that bandwagon. I have been for a little bit now because I'm trying to pay off all my debt, pay off my house in 5-6 years. I'm trying to do the things that you are trying to do. I'm aligned with that goal, and I
Mhm.
want other people to know that they can do it as well, right? And so
Right.
let's do it. Let's do it in 2023. Let's be financially free in 23, and let's make the focus about us, like make you the priority.
Thank you, Kim. She said, awesome show. Thank you so much. And y'all understand, I will have her information also in my groups. If you're not a part of the groups, go to Exquisite Taste Network. You'll see my diamond. I'm a diamond girl. So you'll see the diamond. It says Exquisite Taste. Join the group. I have Let's Bring It to the Table. You can join that group. Those two groups, I will be posting her information. She is going to be a part of the network, y'all. She ain't going nowhere. She might tell me later she is, but I'm telling you right now, she ain't going nowhere. So y'all give her a call, okay? And I'll put her information out there so y'all have it, and y'all can give her a call. I promise you, it don't hurt to ask questions.
It does not.
There's no such thing as a stupid question. I think a lot, so I ask a lot of questions. Now you might get tired of somebody asking a question, but ain't nothing wrong with it. You trying to get that knowledge, you have to apply it. So to gain it, you got to listen, you got to comprehend, you got to gain the solution, and then you submit to the process, and you're good. Okay,
Awesome.
y'all hear me? And next week we're gonna do a little financial talk. And then the following week we're supposed to be doing insurance. I got to get that into place. If not, then we're going to do a little Let's Bring It to the Table. Because I know y'all like that. So we might do a little Let's Bring It to the Table, and we might be talking about habits, creatures of habits. I'm trying to get all this in. I got to get it all in so y'all can get it all in. This is what we're doing the rest of this year. Okay? So, like I always say, you know, knowledge is power if you apply it. Okay? So y'all see y'all next week Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And good night to you all.